Hello, welcome to Samarpit. Today in this video, we are going to discuss a trick to find the square root of a number. Let me be very clear. We are going to find the square root of only a perfect square number. Let me first explain you what is a perfect square number. You can see here I have written squares from 1 to 30. So 1 square 1, 2 square 4, 3 square 9. So I have 1 square 1, 2 square 4, 3 square 9, 4 square 16, 5 square 25, 6 square 36, so on. So these numbers 1, 4, 9, 16, 25, 36, these numbers are called as perfect square numbers. And the reason is very simple. Because, for example, if you take a perfect square number, let's say 36. Find root of 36. You will end up getting 6. That means when you find the square root of a perfect square number, you end up getting an integer. But that is not the case with a non-perfect square number. For example, if you find root 35, you will not get an integer. So how to find the square root of the non-perfect square numbers, we will have another video for that. But as far as this video is concerned, we are going to find the square root of only a perfect square numbers. This is point number 1. Point number 2, let me explain you. I have written the squares from 1 to 30. So observe the squares from 1 to 30. Now observe the last digit of the square numbers. So you can see here, you can have 1 as the last digit. You can have 4 as the last digit. You can have 5 as the last digit. You can have 6 as the last digit. You can have 9 as the last digit. You can have 0 as the last digit. That means, can anywhere in these numbers, that means the perfect square numbers. So observe all these are perfect square numbers. So can anywhere have you seen 2 as the last digit, 3 as the last digit, 7 as the last digit, or 8 as the last digit? That means perfect square numbers never end in 2, 3, 7, 8. They can end in 0, 1, 4, 5, 6, 9. So the second most important point that you have to keep in mind before I discuss the trick is perfect square number will always end in 0, 1, 4, 5, 6, 9. They will never end in 2, 3, 7, 8. So till now I have told you two important points. Point number 1 is we are going to find the square root of only perfect square numbers, and perfect square numbers are those numbers. When you find the square root of those numbers, you end up getting an integer. Point number 2, I have said that perfect square numbers will always end in 0, 1, 4, 5, 6, 9. They can never end in 2, 3, 7, 8. That means you can never have numbers ending 2, 3, 7, 8 as perfect squares. This is point number 2. Point number 3, you have to observe here, see here. Observe the squares from 1 to 30 again. When you get last digit as 1, what are the square root of those numbers? For example, observe 1 square 1, 9 square 81. That means when any number whose last digit is 1 or 9, when you square that, you will have 1 as the last digit of a perfect square number. That means any perfect square number ending in 1, when you find the square root of it, it will have either 1 or 9 as its last digit. Similarly, when 4 is the last digit, you can have 2 and 8 as the last digit of the square root of that perfect square number. Similarly, when 9 is the last digit, you can have 3 and 7. When 5 is the last digit, you can see it will have only 5. And when 6 is the last digit, you can either have 6 or 4. So, and when 0 is the last digit of a perfect square number, the last digit of its square root will always have 0. So, point number 3 that you have to keep in mind is when any perfect square number ends in 1, the square root of it will have 1 or 9 as its last digit. For 4, it will be 2 and 8. For 5, it will always be 5. For 0, it will always be 0. For 6, it can be 4 or 6. For 9, it can be 3 or 7. So you can simply remember this. For 1 and 9, the last digit of perfect square number is 1. So you can remember like this: 1 plus 9, 10, 2 plus 8, 10, 5 and 5. You can write like this, and 5 plus 5, 10, 4 plus 6, 10, 3 plus 7, 10. So if you keep these 3 points which I have told you in mind, point number 1, I am going to discuss the trick only for a perfect square numbers. Point number 2, perfect square numbers will always end in 0, 1, 4, 5, 6, 9. They can never end in 2, 3, 7, 8. And third point is when you have, let's say, 1 as last digit of perfect square number, The square root of it will have either 1 or 9. Similarly, for 4, 5, 6, 9 and 0, you have to remember the facts. So with these 3 points in mind, let me discuss the square root of some numbers, and that means we are going to discuss the square root of a 4-digit number and again for 5-digit number. Let me first take one example. So root of 1444. So the step 1 or the first thing you have to do is break this into 2 parts. So last 2 digit one part, rest last 2 digit another part. Here you have 4 as the last digit. That means its square root can have either 2 as last digit or 8 as a last digit. Second thing is, observe this second part, that means this part, 14. Find a perfect square close to 14 less than 14. It is 9. Find square root of 9. 3. That means the answer for this can be 32 or 38. And you have to confirm whether it is 32 or 38. For that, what you have to do is, square root of 9 is how much? 3. What is the number after 3? 4. Multiply 3 into 4. It is 12. Now just check this 14 which is here is less than 12 or greater than 12. It is greater than 12. If it is greater than 12, you have to go with the higher number. So the answer for root 1444 is 38. Let me explain you again by taking another example. 5929. So let me break this into 2 parts. Last digit is 9. So the square root of it can have 3 or 7 as its last digit. Now observe this part, 59. Find a square root close to 59 less than 59. So it is 49. Find square root of 49, 7. So the square root of this can be 73 or 77. You have to confirm that. So what is square root of 49? 7. What is the number after 7? 8. 7 8s are 56. Now 59, less than 56 or more than 56? More than 56. So go with the higher number. So the answer for this is 77. Now break this into 2 parts. Last digit is 5. That means the square root of it will definitely have 5 as its last digit. Now 72. Find a square root close to 72 less than 72. 64. Root 64. 8. So the answer for this is 85. Now let me take another example. 8464. Last digit is 4. When can last digit be 4? Either for 2 or 8. Now 84. Find a perfect square close to 84 less than 84. It is 81. Root 81. 9. So answer can be 92 or 98. Now you have to confirm that. What is number after 9? 10. 9 into 10 is 90. So if it is 90, just check 84 is less than 90 or more than 90. Less than 90. So go with the less number. That is, answer is 92. So these are the examples which I want to discuss with you for finding the square root of a perfect square number. 4-digit perfect square number. But one problem can come. Let me explain you what is that problem. So let me take one example here. Root 1296. Now let me find the square root of this by the method which we are discussing. So break this into 2 parts. 6. When can last digit be 6? Either for 4 or 6. Now find a perfect square. That is, for this part, find a perfect square close to 12 less than 12. 9. Root 9 is how much? 3. So answer can be 34 or 36. Now I have 3. Square root of 9 is 3. What is the number after 3? 4. What is 3 into 4? 12. Now see here there is 12. 12 is exactly equal to 12. Here if the number is less than this, I will go with the less square. Here if the number is more than this, I will go with the bigger square, bigger number. But here is exactly equal. So when this happens, go with the higher number. So the answer for 1296, square root of 1296 is 36. So this is one exception which I want to discuss. Now let me find the square root of 5-digit numbers. So let me take 5-digit number. Let's say 10404. Root of 10404. I will break this into 2 parts. So last digit one part, other digits another part. 4. When can you have 4? For 2 and 8. Now here there is 104. Close to 104, what is the perfect square number, and less than 104? So it is 100. Root 100 is 10. So either this can be 102 or 108. Now what you have to do is, you have to confirm whether it is 102 or 108. So what is the number after 10? 11. 10 into 11 is 110. So 104 less than 110 or more than 110? Less than. So go with the less number, small number. Next, 3, 4, 2, 2, 5. So break this into 2 parts. last digit one part, rest another part. 5. So if last digit 5, square root will definitely have 5 as its last digit. 342. Find a perfect square close to 342, less than 342, which is 324. Root 324 is 18. So if you are able to remember the squares from 1 to 30, it will be very beneficial, because if you are able to remember the squares from 1 to 30, finding the square root of these numbers will become very, very easy. So the answer for this is 185. Let me take another number, 38416. So here we have 6. When you can have 6? So break this into two parts, last digit one part, rest digit one part. So when you can have, that means when you can have 6 as the last digit, either for 4 or for 6. Next, 384. Find a perfect square close to 384, less than 384. It is 361. Root 361 is 19. So either the answer can be 194 or 196. Now what is the number after 19? That is 20. So 19 into 20, which is 380. Now 344, less than 380 or more than 380? Less than. So go with the less number. Next, 53824. So break this into two parts. Last two digit one part, rest digit another part. So if last digit is 4, either you can have that means that can be possible for 2 or 8. Now 538. Find a perfect square close to 538 and less than 538. So it is 529. So root 529 is 23. So the answer can be 232 or 238. Now I have to confirm. So what is the number after 23? 24. So now you have to find 23 times 24, which is 552. Now 538, less than 552 or more than 552? Less than. So go with the less number. So the answer for this is 232. So this is how we find the square root of perfect square numbers. That is for 4-digit perfect square numbers and 5-digit perfect square numbers. So in another video, I will come up with that means how to find a trick to find the square root of 6-digit perfect square numbers. So I hope you understood this video. Just in comment section, find the answer of this number, root of 67081, with the trick I discussed now, and comment your answers. Thank you very much.